Yeah, I would definitely tell, myself that at 16, 15, just always stay the course and, always put the work in. Whatever you put in, you will get out. It's kind of just a work to result translation. If you're gonna do it, and it obviously comes with a lot of, work behind that. But if you believe you can do it, then you're gonna do it. That's kind of my thing. I'm not really. I mean, it's a manifestation thing, but I don't really say the word manifesting a lot. But I always, am big on believe, believe, believe. Like even in my Instagram bio says, I believe I can do it, just because that's kind of the mindset I have.
All right, showtime. Here we go. We have another episode of the My Player podcast. Joining us today, co-founder Will Collins and one of the most dynamic bigs in college basketball, Malik Dia. What's going on, Malik?
How y'all doing, man? Appreciate y'all having me.
Of course, of course. We're looking forward to really talking about your role, your journey, what it was like being a top high school recruit, dominating in the SEC with Ole Miss, kind of your basketball journey, and building a brand in college sports. Really showcasing your abilities on the court, but then off the court being just as dominant. And let's kind of start with your journey a little bit from high school to then Vanderbilt to now where you're at now. But what's that been like? Going back to when you were in high school, did you foresee yourself kind of in the position you're at now? And what's that been like?
Yeah, so from where I'm from, Murfreesboro, not a lot of people, have the opportunity to play Division I basketball. In my freshman year, coming in playing basketball, I didn't really, see that. I always worked towards it, and I always said, I want to play in the NBA. But it was hard as a freshman, trying to play varsity, um, just consistently staying in the gym every day. And me just loving the game of basketball is kind of what kept my drive going. Leading up after my freshman year, playing only freshman, and then dressing varsity but not playing. I decided to leave and go to Ensworth, one of the best private schools in the state of Tennessee. And I've seen a lot of growth and development there with the accessories and equipment that they have and facilities that they had. It was just top level, honestly. And it transformed me into a totally different player. Um, Sophomore year, I had to sit out, and then COVID hit, so unfortunately, didn't get to play that much. I played about 5 games my sophomore year due to ineligibility, and then my junior year came, and that was the first time I could play for Ensworth, and I just felt like a completely different player from the last time I played. Organized basketball at the high school level. I felt like I could stretch the floor. I could, play inside out. And I had a good coach in Ricky Bowers, which all followed up into my junior summer. So freshman, sophomore, junior year didn't have any offers. And then junior year, summer, we started playing, and then I got my first offer from TCU. And it just went from there, head down and grinded. I wasn't really satisfied with, just, getting that. Led up into my senior year committing to Vanderbilt, where I thought, the staff over there was, really high level and that could help me complete my dreams. They understood that my mindset was I want to be a pro, I want to be an NBA player. And, all that just aligned. Wasn't really the highest ranked guy out of high school or anything, but, I definitely have a different story that, I think is motivating, each and every day. I'm still chasing after those goals.
No doubt, love to see it. And then I actually funny story. I was in San Diego early, or I guess last fall when you guys played Purdue in Ole Miss. So
Yeah.
full circle. I saw you dominate in person, and I didn't even realize until we were just about to get on. So I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen this guy play live action. So
Yes,
what's
sir.
it like playing at Ole Miss, playing in the SEC, and kind of this past season?
Yeah, the SEC is the best league in college basketball, in my opinion. Playing in that night in and night out is just amazing. It's such a blessing. You never know how many people just wish they could have the opportunity to play in that. So I never take it for granted. Playing in the SEC is hard. Each and every game is a win loss potentially, and every team is good. So each and every day, you just got to bring your A game to practice, to weights, to workouts, to everything. Just in order to be prepared for those games. And that's kind of how I do it, just take it day by day in my process of, just getting better each and every day, never getting bored with the game of basketball and the work that comes with it. And it's just, done unbelievable things for me, being able to, go to the Sweet 16 last year with my team was just amazing. And then not only that, just play basketball at the highest level and, perform on that stage is just, something you think about as a kid watching, all the other people, when you were a little kid and they're playing SEC basketball, you're like, wow, amazing for me, man. It was unreal.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, dude, talk to me about the "I'm gonna shock the world" tweet. I know that mindset you've had for a while.
Yeah. That was tweeted during COVID. I can't remember the exact day I tweeted it, but um, I can't remember what I was doing on Twitter, but I saw Zion Williamson's tweet. Um, and I went to his profile picture or his profile and I saw that exact thing tweeted. And, I'm thinking in my mind, Zion Williamson was just another guy at some point, and then he worked hard to get where he was, and then everybody knew who he was by the time he graduated high school and went to Duke. So that kind of motivated me, and I tweeted on my page, and I pinned it, and I felt like that was just my motivation because I feel like a lot of people don't really know who I am. And I feel like, I'm going to shock and turn a lot of heads just by the way that I am. And, with this game of basketball, everybody has their own passion and, things that they want to do. And I feel like basketball was my one thing. And was set on it ever since then. I really thought that during COVID, when you have time to think and you're not really playing the game of basketball, that, I just did a lot of thinking. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to shock the world. And, I just kept it tweeted ever
No,
since.
I love it, dude. It's been cool to follow you ever since Belmont. I know there's a lot to come in the future, but already, the
Right.
journey's been cool to see.
Yes, sir.
Sure. And I was watching you on another show and podcast and kind of going into that mentality of being a great and shocking the world. And you mentioned how, kind of the mindset of if you could, you're talking about tennis, right? You could become a great tennis player. And then obviously you're
Yeah.
playing basketball. You're not a tennis player right now. But talk to us about that mindset of, getting into, being the best and what drives you and, kind of how you, translate that to on-court success.
Yeah, so it's kind of my mindset my dad installed in me. I remember after, a seventh grade AAU tournament, my dad drove me all the way down to Atlanta. And I was kind of just out there, just playing. Didn't really impact the game much. And my dad kind of cursed me out on the way back. So, he kind of just told me to have this mindset of be a winner at everything. Be impactful. Whatever you're gonna do, be really good at it. And he kind of started that journey for me by getting me a trainer and you know made kind of starting my basketball career at that thing. I mean, I was playing before, but I feel like it's changed ever since that time started. And then ever since then, I was kind of like, if I'm gonna put my all and work into this, why not be really good at it? It's kind of just the mindset I have. Like every time I step on the court, I feel like no one can stop me. I feel like I'm the best player on the court. It's just gotta, come into translation. It's just I feel like if you have that best mindset that you're going to do something, or if you're going to be the best at something, then you're going to do it. But if I tell myself, hey, I can't do this, or hey, I don't know if I can really reach these goals, I feel like physically you're not gonna be able to achieve those because mentally you can't do it.
Yeah, well said. And is that something you would tell, your 16-year-old self, 15-year-old self, or other athletes that want to play Division One or any other advice?
Yeah, no doubt. I would definitely tell, myself that at 16, 15, just always stay the course and, always put the work in. Whatever you put in, you will get out. It's kind of just a work to result translation. If you're gonna do it, and it obviously comes with a lot of, work behind that. But if you believe you can do it, then you're gonna do it. That's
Yep.
kind of my thing. I'm not really. I mean, it's a manifestation thing, but I don't really say the word manifesting a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I always, am big on believe, believe, believe. Like even in my Instagram bio says, I believe I can do it, just because that's kind of the mindset I have.
Yeah, great. And that's on the court, off the court, and that's seems how you attack the on the court, but then off the court with NIL and building your brand. Talk to us about what it's like, being a college athlete, building your yourself for the on court presence, but then also at the same time building your off the court brand?
Yeah, NIL is real, and it's definitely, blessed a lot of athletes, including myself. Extremely a blessing, and I'm forever grateful for it. But there's so many things you can do with it, which is beautiful. And it's kind of, like you said, building your brand, and taking this small vision of CB League that I had when I was in high school, freshman year. The group of us, just taking it to another level. With the opportunities that are there, and just trying to make the most of it, and building more, and not only top of that, just doing things for other people's. This thing can blow up into something much more than what it is right now, and I believe in that in the future, and that's why I appreciate you guys. But it just can be so much more, and ends up into giving back into nonprofits, funding, and so much more. So it's really a blessing and a great thing, and I'm glad it's a part of college athletics.
Yeah, you talk to me about CB League. How did it kind of come together?
Yeah, so shout out to a couple of guys back at home, Damon. Mainly, he started a little thing called CB, and they had in their Instagram usernames, and their name was like CB dot Damon. I think that's still his name today. And it was kind of just certified bucket thing, and I was like, that's kind of cool. And I decided to, I was like, yo, I want to do this, blah blah blah. I never really made it my official username, but it was always kind of part of me, and I kind of wanted to make that, kind of my thing. Started off as something small, but the decision I made to, kind of, prolong it and keep it going, was all me, and I just really wanted to, keep the brand going and build it into something bigger. So that's kind of where it started, but it all really started in the gym. Where else?
Yep.
So.
Is that so? And then creating your merch, what was it like? Choosing the graphics and choosing what you wanted on your merch and kind of building that out.
Yeah, the merch part kind of just came. It was honestly a blessing when you guys reached out to me, Belmont guy who, just out there hooping. But when you guys reached out to me, kind of was like I could either take this two ways. I can go just, hey, normal route, put your name on a couple of things, and, keep it going. But, kind of like to be different. Kind of the guy I am. Don't really like taking the normal process about things. I know my life's different. My story's a little bit different. So deciding to take that nickname and, put it everywhere was my choice. And, I feel like it's, going pretty well, and I wouldn't go back and change it any other way.
Yeah. No, I'll never forget back when, before we moved into our office and grew, back when we were in the garage, we signed Malik when he was at Belmont. And, everyone was in there like, oh my gosh, like we just got Malik Dia, like Belmont, he's on the come up. And that was crazy. Kind of, he was one of our like first 100 athletes now. So it's been really cool to see you kind of grow in your journey. And like you said, you do it different, which that's why we like it.
Sure.
No
Yeah.
doubt. Is there, so as you kind of continue on through your journey, we talked a little bit about kind of having the merch, but when you see people wearing it, in the stands, kind of build up your brand. What's that like? Spotting people in the stands wearing your merch.
Yeah, it's amazing. Something that was, custom by, me and you guys. It's just amazing, to see where it started, kind of me just wearing it, family wearing it, and a couple people wearing it. So, seeing people and fans wearing it outside is just amazing. It just shows the impact and the growth made since, what, 2 years ago. So it really is, it just proves that, anything you put your mind to, you can do. And, it's just amazing the level that's grown to. And hopefully it just grows even more, with the more stuff that we put out, and the more the name continues to blow. So
Yeah. No, it's just a start. It's just a start.
yes, sir.
Speaking of fans, what's kind of a SEC is known for its hostile environments, you could say. So what's a place that you enjoy playing at? Like a or course, something that you enjoy playing at that feels extra better. When you get a win.
Yeah. This past year, I definitely say Alabama. Coming and being the top four team in the country was amazing. It was really tough to do, but we did it. Really big fan of Vandy's gym. I wonder why. But really like playing there all the time. Going back home to Nashville and playing that last year was just unreal. And to be on the other side was definitely an experience. The fans didn't love me, but people have no idea how much that game really meant to me. Just being in Nashville, going to Vandy, and then unfortunately having to leave, and just coming back and playing there was just such a surreal feeling. So them two places really stand out to me. Looking forward to playing at Kentucky this year.
Mhm.
Growing up being a Kentucky fan of Kentucky basketball is just was the real deal back in the day, and then as I got older and older, it just kind of faded off. Excited to play there again. I played there my freshman year, and the arena is really nice, but didn't really play too much as a freshman. But this year, hoping to make a little impact and a little bit of noise there.
Oh,
A
yeah,
little
no
bit,
doubt.
yeah. He's gonna make a big impact. What I mean, how do you when people are chirping you, like, do you hear them on the court, like on the fans, or
Yeah, no doubt.
does that hype you up? Is that
Yeah, it really does turn me up. It's definitely a fuel, a motivator. While I'm on the court, I hear it. Last year, I did a little bit of chirping back.
I see you running down the court like this, bro. I see it.
Yeah, I did a little bit of chirping back to players on the other team, and then some fans too. But hopefully, gonna try and maybe die down, try and be a little bit more level headed this year. But we'll see how the game goes.
Yeah, I mean that's the fun of it, man. It's you're getting the fans involved, but also you're doing it all. So people love watching that. It's fun.
Yeah, it's just the emotions of the game, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just it's a lot. I say this now, but then in game, if something happens, I'm be one of the first guys to be, what I'm saying, doing something. So
Is just a few more rapid fire questions for you, Malik. Is there a before you go out to the games, your kind of go to hype song or a song or something you do before every game?
yeah, I got a playlist. It's called Pregame. I just listen to it. A lot of rap in there. A couple of calm songs. But my go-to song before a game is probably "Stronger" by Kelly Clarkson. Just really gets the blood flowing and gets me real motivated. Lyrics are powerful, and just have those like going into your ears before a game, just really good. So that's mine.
All right, I like it. We'll shout out Kelly Clarkson
Yeah.
there, and we're looking forward to that. And then what about, so say you got Kelly Clarkson, you just listened to it, you're about to get on the court. If you could go one on one versus any NBA player, who would it be?
I'd want a one-on-one prime LeBron. It's my goat. Um, but just to kind of test my levels. Like I told y'all, I feel like I have ultra confidence. I could be anybody, but prime Bron is prime LeBron. So I definitely would want to play him, and that'd definitely be an experience.
Is Braun his favorite player?
No question, no question at all.
You got any other role models or kind of people you want to play like, or is it mostly just Braun?
Yeah, LeBron was obviously the one, but growing up and watching Kevin Durant play was just so fluid. How he could do everything at his height, and be that much of a factor that kind of got me installed into like scoring the ball. But obviously, I'm trying to do more than that now. A lot of people say I play like Naz Reid a little bit.
Okay,
The way he moves and stuff like that. But I watch a lot of basketball. I just take a lot of parts from different areas. Especially this game of college basketball. I've learned so much, and how much different it is from the NBA. So, it's picking different pieces and figuring out what works and what doesn't work.
smart, yeah. What, incorporate it, and then as I'm sure you guys are in summer workouts and summer routines, but what's kind of next for you for the season? What's it looking like in the future here?
Yeah, season's coming up real soon. Right now, we're doing preseason stuff with the workouts, and scrimmages, and we got a couple of secret scrimmages coming up, and then on top of that we got exhibition that's to be determined. So everything just leading up to the season, November 3rd being the first game. Super excited for it. I got some really big goals for this year that I'm trying to achieve. Day by day, I'm just working at the process to knock it down. Make sure I'm achieving each and every day and striving to make myself better. Because I know the goals that I have for this season are pretty high, and hard to achieve. So just working really hard to make sure that I get those done.
Yeah, and I know next year at this time it's gonna be around the draft, but you got a team you want to get drafted by, or
No, I don't. I'm just a work in progress right now, and whatever team is willing to take a chance on me, and my abilities would be a ultra blessing. So wherever I go, I'm not pressing. I'm not that type of person. Wherever I go is wherever I go, and I'll be blessed to be there.
We'll keep
Bulls
our
could
eye
the Bulls could use it if you want to come to Chicago, we could.
on it.
I played in the Bulls arena my freshman year. Well, I didn't play, but we had a game there. Vandy had a game at the Bulls arena where we played NC State. Um, the arena's a little old, but I mean, it does as long as it got a basketball court and two goals and a
Yeah,
ball.
it's
I
all
ain't
right.
tripping.
It's a little
Yeah,
small. It's actually you'd think the United Center is a little smaller than you'd think, but
really. Okay, it's been a while, but
All right. Is there, as we close out, where can the listeners and fans, where can they follow you on the socials and your merch and everything like that?
yeah, my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok are all the same. It's at Malik Dia, MalikKdia. Um, and yeah, I'm pretty active on there. And then the merch, you guys go shop in my player athlete, and go shop in the Malik Dia section. If you see something you like, go give it a grab, man. Appreciate the support, man. And yeah,
yeah. And for everyone out there from League fans, we'll be dropping some new signature stuff and keep growing the brand out this summer. We're
no doubt.
looking.
Drop some questions. I'll do some Q&As.
Yeah, yeah. No, we got to do some QAs and see what other people want to buy, so we can do
Yeah,
that.
no doubt.
Perfect. Is any last words or last remarks you want to leave the listeners and viewers with, Malik, before we go?
Nah, man. Hotty toddy, baby.
There, yeah, you got an Ole Miss fan in me here. So, like I said, it's fun to see you actually connect with you in person. As I saw you play last fall it was, or maybe early year. But looking forward to the upcoming season and all the hard work you guys are putting in to showcase it on the court here in a few months. So we appreciate you coming on. And for all the listeners, viewers, make sure to go check out Malik's pages and like and subscribe on the channels. And we'll continue to have all these awesome athletes and continue to build brands. So thanks again, fellas.
Thank you.